In this class, we will discuss about polynomials. In the polynomials, we are having two words. Poly means many, nomial means term. So, we can say polynomials are having many terms. What? Polynomials are having many terms. Like this one. This is a one polynomials, and there are three terms 1, 2 and 3. Now first I want to discuss about terms. What about the terms? Polynomials are having many terms, and terms are what? Terms are parts of polynomials separated by plus and minus operations. Like this, there are three terms, first, second and third. These are three terms of these polynomials, and they are separating by plus sign. So we can say terms are parts of polynomials. What about the terms? Terms are parts of polynomials separated by plus and minus operations, like this one. So this is a one polynomial, but how to define polynomial? Polynomials are having many terms, that's okay, but we want the definition of the polynomials. So how we will say? Polynomials are n algebraic expressions. What about the polynomials? They are algebraic expressions in which powers of variables are whole numbers. So polynomials are algebraic expression like this: 2x square plus 7x plus 5. This is a algebraic expressions. And powers of variables, in which in the polynomials powers of variables are whole numbers. Now first we will discuss variables. What about the variables? Two things we should know. One is the variable, another one is the constant. In the algebraic expression, polynomials are algebraic expression. In the algebraic expressions, we are having some terms. They may be constant, variables, and combination of variables with coefficient. So one by one we will discuss. One is the constant. In this expression we are having, this is the constant 5 is constant. Why this is a constant? Because it is not changing in this problem. It is constant, it is not varying. But x, this x square and x is what? Variable. It is varying with time. It is varying in this problem. Throughout this problem, variable is varying, but constant does not change. So what we can say? An algebraic expression, polynomials are an algebraic expressions in which powers of variables are what? Like this. X, variables can be represented as x, y, z. How we will represent variables? X, y, z. And sometime we can also use what? T, s, etc. So these are what? Constant. These are what? Constant. X, y, z, not constant. These are what? X, y, z, t, s. These all are variables. These are variables. And constant are what? Constant will be represented by A, B, C, so on. These are constant. So what we are studying? We are discussing about polynomials, and polynomials are having many terms, and in the terms we are having constant, variables with coefficients like this. So constant is not changing in the problem, but variables are varying. So we can say these are the some variables, and these ABC numbers 5, 10, these are what? Constant. Now next one is the coefficient. What about the coefficient? In front of variables we are having some constant, and in front of variables like this is the x, in front of this we are having 7, and this is called coefficient. So what is the coefficient of x? 7. 7 is what? Coefficient of x. Now what about the coefficient of x square? Coefficient of x square is 2. So in the polynomials we are having some terminology: constant, variables, coefficient. So coefficients are what? Coefficients are right with variables. In front of variables we are having coefficient. So what will be the coefficient of x? 7. What will be the coefficient of x square? We are having 2. 5 is what? Constant. X is what? Variables. In the place of x we can also use y, z, t, s, so on. In the constant we will use a, b, c, etc. Numbers, they will be what? Constant. So first we should know the polynomials. Polynomials are algebraic expression like this, and in which powers of variables are whole numbers. X is a, what is? X is a variable, and power of this variable should be what? Whole number. It means non-negative integers. What about the whole number? Non-negative integers. इनकी जो powers होनी चाहिए वो non-negative होना चाहिए. It means negative power is not allowed. Polynomials are having 0. Polynomials, in the polynomials variables are having power 0 and counting numbers. It means whole numbers. We cannot use negative counting numbers. Negatives of what? At the place, on this place, x square, this is what? Positive counting numbers, whole numbers. So simply we can say power of variables in a polynomial should be whole number. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, so on we can use, but we cannot use what? Negatives counting numbers like -1, -2, -3 and so on. Like this we cannot use fractions 1/2, -1/2, like this. Whole numbers, power should be whole numbers only. Then we can say that expression of algebraic expression will be what? Polynomial. I am giving some example there like this. If we are having x square plus 5, this is a polynomial. X square plus 5, this is a polynomial. X plus 1, this is a polynomial. Now next I am taking 1 upon x plus 5, this is not polynomial. Why? Because once we bring this x to denominator to numerator, it is converting like this: x minus 1 plus 5, and power of variables is what? Negative. So power of variables is negative, so we cannot use. Now next one, root of x plus 5, in which what we are having? X power is 1/2 plus 5. This is not polynomial. This is not polynomial. This is not polynomial. This is the polynomial. This is a polynomial. So simply what we can say, polynomials are algebraic expressions, and in which variables power should be whole number, 0, 1, 2, 3, so on. We cannot use negatives counting number. We cannot use what? Fractions form. Only we require what? Whole numbers. Only we can use 0, 1, 2, 3 and so on. So on. On the place of the variables power, we will use whole numbers 0, 1, 2, 3 and so on. We cannot use negative counting numbers So this is the basic definition of the polynomials. What we are studying there. Just I am revising. Polynomials means many terms. Polynomials are having many terms. Terms are what? Parts of the polynomial separated by plus minus. Now this is the expression. Polynomials are algebraic expression. This is the algebraic expressions, and in which some terms are separated. This is the one term, this is another, and this one is the another. And terms are separated by plus. And we can use minus also. In some examples, there will be the minus. So, terms are separated by plus and minus. And in the expressions we are having constant, they are not varying with time. But variables are varying with time. They will be changed throughout the problem. And coefficients are where? Coefficients we will use with variables. In front of variables or with variables we are having coefficient. So coefficient of x is this one. Coefficient of this one is what? This one. Now I am taking one example there. We want to identify coefficient minus x square plus 2x plus 1. Now what is the coefficient of x square? We are having negative. So coefficient of x square is what? Minus 1. Now there is not positive sign. I am taking negative sign. Now what is the coefficient of x? Coefficient of x is minus 2. Like of this. If you are having, we will write directly. But if you are having negative sign, we will use with the sign. So this is what? Coefficient. So we discussed constant, variables, coefficients of variables, and basic definitions of the polynomials. Polynomials are algebraic expressions in which powers should be whole number 0, 1, 2, 3 and so on. We cannot use negative and fractions power. Clear? Now next I am taking types of the polynomial. There are the different types of the polynomials on the basis of terms. Types of polynomials can be categorized in the three ways: on the basis of terms, on the basis of variables, on the basis of degree of polynomials. So this polynomial I am discussing in a three way. On the basis of the term, we are having three types. First one is monomial, second one is binomial, third one is trinomial. In the monomials, we are having only single term. In the monomials, we are having only single term. Like this, if we are having, these all are polynomials. But what sort of the polynomials? Monomials. Why? Because they all are having only one term. 2x, this is the one term, this is one term, this is one term, this is one term, this is one term. 2x, 5y square, t cube, 5 and a. These all are what? One term. And if polynomials are having one term, single term, then what we can say? They are monomials. They are monomials. If polynomials are having two terms, in these all they are separated by plus sign. It means one term is x, another one is 1. So this one is having two terms, this one is having two terms, this one is having two terms. So these all are what? Binomial. And binomials are having two terms. Once we talk about trinomial, trinom is 3. Trinomials are having three terms. Like this, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 3 terms. So we can say on the basis of the terms, we can classify polynomials in the three categories, mainly three types: monomial having one term, binomial having two terms, trinomials are having three terms. I hope you are getting these all things. Now second type is on the basis of variables. On the basis of the variables, how we classify polynomials? Polynomials are classified in a following ways: one variable polynomial, two variable polynomial, and next one three variable polynomial is also possible. So in our syllabus we are having one variable, and in the 10th standard we are having two variables. In the 9th standard polynomials we are having one variable polynomial. In the 10th standard we will discuss two variable polynomials. So in the one variable polynomials we are having only one variable. x या तो x होगा या y होगा या t हो सकता है, s हो सकता है, z हो सकता है, इनमें से कोई एक वेरिएबल काम में आएगा. सो वन वेरिएबल हैविंग ओनली वन वेरिएबल ax plus 1 in which x is variable, a is constant, 1 a is the coefficient of the x and 1 is the constant. Only we are using one variable, so it is one variable polynomial. 2y plus 6, y is the variable, only we are using one variable. 2 is the coefficient of y, 6 is the constant. Now t square plus 2t plus 1. In this polynomial we are having only single one variable, that is t. So t is the variable, coefficient of t is 2 and 1 is the constant. Now in the two variables we will use two variable like this, ax plus by plus c, in which we are using x and y are both variables, remaining a, b, c are what? Constant. In this question x is variable and xy both are two variables. Two variables are using, so it is not a one variable, it is what? Two variable polynomial. Now next one, ab are what? 8a power 8b minus 4ab. Now in which ab is what? Variables, they are varying, remaining 8, 4, root 2. 4 is the coefficient of the ab, 8 is the coefficient of this one, and root 2 is what? Constant. So AB are used as a variable. Now what we are discussing? We are classifying polynomials on the basis of variables. They may be one variable, two variables, and three variable polynomials are also possible. In the three variables we will use three variables at a time. So first we should know the one variable, it is in our syllabus and it is in the 10th standard. So both are important. In the one variable only single variable, and variable is what? We can use x, y, z, t, s, p, and there we are using ab. We can easily to identify which one is the variable and which one is the constant. Now in this question x, y are ax plus by plus c, a, b, c are the constant, but x and y are variables. In which question a, b are variables, so we can identify easily, not big problem this one. Now third type is degree. On the basis of the degree, how we will classify polynomials. So first we should know the definition of the degree. Degree is what? Highest power of variable. Highest power of variable. In the polynomials, polynomial is what? Algebraic expression, and they are having power. Variables power is what? Whole numbers. And in the whole numbers, what is the highest one? Will be the degree. I am having some types there. First one, degree is what? Highest power of variables in a one variable polynomial. I am having there one variable polynomials. We can also find the degree of two variable polynomials. We will discuss later, but first I am taking one variable polynomials and what will be the degree I am checking there. Now first one is zero polynomial, constant polynomial, linear polynomial, quadratic polynomial, cubic polynomial, biquadratic polynomial. Which I am writing there what? General form, standard form of the polynomial. This one is the linear polynomial. This one is what? Ax plus 1. Ax plus 1 is what? Standard general form of linear polynomial. Now in which we are having x is a variable, a is constant, a is what? Coefficient of x, and 1 is the constant. So x is the variable, we want its degree, or what is the definition of the degree? Highest power of variable. In this expression, what will be the highest power of the polynomial? We are having only single variable x and its power is 1. So what will be the degree of this one? 1. Now next one, quadratic polynomial. General form of the quadratic polynomial is what? Ax square plus bx plus c. Now in which we are having a, b, c are constant. Coefficient of x square is a, coefficient of b is what? Coefficient of x is what? B, and c is the constant term. We want the degree, and degree is what? In the expressions, maximum power of the what? Variable. We are having x as a variable, there is a one power. If we are not having power, it means we are having single power, one power, and there are two power, 1 and 2. Which one is the maximum? Highest one is 2. So quadratic polynomial having degree 2. Now next one, cubic polynomial. This is the general expressions of the cubic polynomial, in which x is the variables and a, b, c, d are what? Constant. This d is the coefficient term, x cube coefficient is what? A, x square coefficient is b, x coefficient is c. Clear? Now we want degree. How we will find? Maximum power, highest power of a variable in a one variable polynomial. So this is having 1 degree power, this is having 2, and this one is having 3. So maximum power is what? 3. So its degree will be what? Cubic polynomial having degree 3. Now biquadratic, its general form is this one, and in which a, b, c, d, e are constant. E is constant term. Coefficient of x की power s to the power 4 is a, coefficient of x cube is b, coefficient of x square is c, coefficient of d, not d, coefficient of x is d. Now variables power I am going to count. There is a 1, there is a 2, there is 3, there is a 4. Maximum power of a variable in expressions, polynomials will be what? Degree. So their maximum is 4, so its degree will be what? 4. Now they are the linear, quadratic, cubic and biquadratic. But constant polynomials also having degree, like this. A, only a, there is no variable, only constant we are having. 5 numbers, any numbers, 5, minus 3, minus 2, minus 10. B, C, they are what? Constant terms, and they are having degree. It means how we will find the degree? Constant terms degree is 0. How? In the constant with we are not having x. Once we put like this, a x power 0. What is the meaning of this? A x to the power 0. So after solving, what will be the result? X to the power, any number, any variable's power is what? 0. Then result is 1. So we can say a into 1 and result is a. So a can be written as a into x to the power 0, and x maximum power is what? 0. So we can say constant polynomials degree is what? 0. Clear? So simply we can say constant polynomials, constant numbers, variable, constant terms a, b, c, d, like they all are having. If they are having only constant, if we are having only constant term, then degree will be what? 0. Clear? And how we are finding? Like of this we can say. Now one is the 0 polynomial. 0 is what? Constant polynomial. In the constant polynomial 0 is there. 0 polynomial is what? Only 0. If we are having 0 as a 0, and this is 0 is what? Constant polynomial, that time we multiply 0 to any one, like this one. Observe constant polynomial, 0 is a constant. 0 is a, no doubt, numbers, 0 is a number and 0 is a constant polynomial. If we multiply this from x to the power, if any number multiplied by 0, then result will be what? 0. So we can say in the constant polynomial, if we are having 0, then that is called 0 polynomial, and its degree is what? Not defined. Constant polynomials are having degree 0 except 0. All constant polynomials are having degree 0 except 0, 1. 0 is a constant and this is having degree what? Not defined. Why it is not defined? Because once we multiply 0 to x to the power 0, we are getting 0. So we can say it is the not defined. So what we discussed there in this class, we are discussing about the basic of polynomials, and this is very important for 9th and 10th class. In the 9th class, once we know the basic concept, and it is important for 10th class also. So just I am revising again 2 to 3 minutes what we studied in this class. Polynomials means many terms, and terms are what? Separated by plus and minus, and they are algebraic expression with variable power is whole numbers. Negative powers and fractions power will be not considered in a polynomial, and they will be not polynomial. Clear? Now this one is the example. 5 is the constant, it is not varying with time, but x is variable, it is varying throughout the problem. But 2 is the coefficient of the x square, 7 is the coefficient of x. Clear? Then we discussed different types of the polynomials on the basis of terms. 3 types: monomial, binomial, trinomial. Monomials are having 1 term, binomials are having 2 terms, trinomials are having 3 terms. Clear? In which we are having 3 terms, 1, 2, 3, and terms are what? Separated by plus minus. So we can say this one is the having 3 terms. This one 1, 2, 2 terms. There is only single terms. In the variables, we are having only 2 variables. We also having 3 variables, but in our standard 1 variable and 2 variables are sufficient. So in 1 variables we will consider only 1 variable. X is variable, y is variable, t is variable. But in which we are having 2 variables, x and y, and this one is this one. Now after this one we studied degree. Degree is the highest power and maximum power of a variable. Now different types of the polynomials we are having: linear polynomial, general form is there, quadratic one, cubic one, and biquadratic. And their degrees are what? Linear having 1, quadratic having 2, cubic having 3, and biquadratic having 4. Constant having 0 degree, but in the constant 0 having not defined degree. Clear? Now this is what? Degrees of 1 variable. This is what? Degrees of 1 variable polynomial. Like this. What will be the degree of this one? Its degree is what? 1. Its degree is what? 1. Its degree is what? 2. But what about this one? What will be its degree? There we are having 2 variables, x and power, and maximum one is what? 1, 1. So degree is what? 1. But in which we are having maximum power of variable is 3. Now in this term we are having maximum power 3, but in this term we are having 7x square y square. So x power 2 and y power 2. So what we can say? What will be the degree of this one? I am writing there. Observe this one. For the 2 variable, how we will find the degree? I am having one question: 3x cube minus 7x square y square plus 8. Now what will be the degree? Degree is what? Highest power of variable. Now in which 2 variables we are having? This term having maximum power 3, but this term having maximum power 2 plus 2, 4. So its degree, this polynomial degree will be what? Maximum power of variable. And maximum power of variable, this variable are having 3, but this term having 2 variables, and 2 variables powers are what? 2 and 2. So we will add both. We are getting 4. So in throughout this expression we are having maximum power is 4. So degree will be 4. Clear? Now in which in this polynomial we are having maximum, this term having what? Maximum power is 8 plus 1, and this term having maximum power, there is a 1, 1 plus 1 2. So what will be the its degree? its degree can be written as degree equal to what? Maximum power. 8 plus 1, this term having maximum power 9. This one is having 2. There is no variable. Variable's maximum power. So its degree is what? 8. So in this way we can find one variable polynomial's degree and two variables polynomial degree. So I hope you are getting this class. You can revise this class again and again, and you will get new ideas and you will learn these all concepts easily. So this is very important for study of polynomial. This is the introduction class. In the next class we will discuss exercise of this chapter. Thank you so much.